What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you can get notified as soon as we drop any new content on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into this. We're going to talk a bit about the weekend's action. DMITRYBIVOL versus Ramirez, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, which took place on the weekend at light heavyweight. Going into this fight, I was expecting it to be quite competitive. I was expecting Ramirez to sort of be able to push Bivol and for it to be a fight that would be for a long periods quite close. I fancied pick Bivol to win going into it, but I thought Ramirez, Zurdo Ramirez, would be able to sort of push Bivol and make it a very, very rough night, a tough night for him. Well, it turned out that, in fact, it was kind of the opposite way round. DMITRYBIVOL, he may have lost about, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2-3 rounds in this fight, maybe a bit more, maybe 4 rounds, but this fight was definitely a sort of a 9-3 or an 8-4 fight, around that sort of thing, and that's perhaps, well, that's kind of being generous. Because it started off as a boxing match, which is what definitely suited DMITRYBIVOL a lot better. It started off at, a sort of measured pace. Zurdo Ramirez wasn't really sort of letting his hands go. He was very conservative, boxing out of the southpaw stance, it is a southpaw, and he was kind of taking his time, boxing with Bivol. They were kind of cagey in the opening rounds, as it is with a lot of these fights, but as the fight warmed up, DMITRYBIVOL just sort of took full control of it. He took the bull by the horns. Bivol was sort of controlling the distance. It was like with Ramirez, with Zurdo, it was like he was I don't know, some have said, like, I think G-Man, but he was saying that it may be a case of Zurdo Ramirez kind of felt the power of DMITRYBIVOL and didn't fancy it, just got worried and just went into his shell, because it did kind of seem like that in this fight. I was more expecting Ramirez, although we know he can box and everything, but I was expecting him to employ more of this sort of volume punching and pressure fighting style onto. I was expecting him to sort of more impose himself on DMITRYBIVOL, but throughout this fight he was very sort of conservative and sort of boxing within himself. He never really to my recollection, really sort of put his foot on the gas and tried to step to Bivol. He was just sort of one-paced, and he never really sort of let his hands go in this fight. And to me, I felt that, for him to stand a chance of winning, he would need to step on the gas and throw sort of punches and bunches, push Bivol back and put him under pressure and use that volume, use that good engine that you've got. But he seemed to be completely unable or unwilling to do that. And, throughout the vast majority of this fight, especially as you go into the second half of the fight, Bivol was just fully in control. I mean, he became the puncher out of the two. He was out punching Ramirez. He was landing very good combinations, straight shots. He was controlling the fight from sort of mid and short range. Bivol was just really, really controlling things. Very good combinations, great straight shots. He was basically doing things all in his own way, and it was all pretty much just one-way traffic. It was all DMITRYBIVOL throughout pretty much the whole of the fight. So yeah, overall very impressive by DMITRYBIVOL. He was pretty much dominant over Zurdo Ramirez. Zurdo wasn't really able to do much with him. He was just subdued, and he was basically tamed by DMITRYBIVOL is a word I'd use. Zurdo, who prior to this had known him as a volume puncher, pressure fighter, southpaw who crouches and likes to get stuck in and likes to throw high volume of punches, but Bivol just completely nullified him and just made him null and void. Bivol just done everything at his own pace, used good movement. He controlled the range, controlled the distance beautifully, and he was just pretty much hitting Zurdo Ramirez at will. Just great display by him. So yeah, it was a bit of, some say it's exaggeration, but I think personally it was a bit of a masterclass. Bivol just showed that there's levels to this boxing game, and he showed that he's certainly at the very, very top of the division. And as far, all we can do now is think about what's next. Me personally, I want to see him in there with, of course, the beast, Artur Beterbiev. I understand Beterbiev has got the Yard fight lined up for, I guess, some point next year. I think Yard's going to have a bit of a knockover job in, I believe it's going to be next month in December, early December, something like that. He's going to have one of these run-out fights, and then he's meant to fight the beast Artur Beterbiev next year. And for me personally, that's the fight I want to see. The winner of, if Yard and Beterbiev happens, winner of Yard and Beterbiev versus DMITRYBIVOL, because I think that tells us who is the best, and that gives us an undisputed champion, and that is what I want to see next. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Did you also sort of think it was a dominant masterclass by DMITRYBIVOL? Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out.